All right, so today we're going to be diving deep into success, like what it really means and how we can achieve it. We'll be looking at this YouTube video called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. It's from the channel Miracle Melini, and it's like a modern take on this classic self-help book,
Mm.
and it really digs into the power of thought and goal setting and all that. So have you ever wondered why some people just seem to have it all figured out while others, they just struggle?
Yeah, I think we've all been there. And this video uses this really striking analogy to illustrate it. It talks about these 100 men who all start out at age 25. And they're all full of ambition and dreams, right? But then you fast forward to age 65, and the numbers are pretty shocking.
Oh yeah. What do they say?
Well, only 5 of those guys actually achieve financial freedom. It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It's almost like a wake-up call. Like, what are those 5 guys doing differently?
Right, and that's where the video's definition of success comes in. They describe it as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Okay, so it's not just about hitting a financial target or something.
Exactly. It's more about, aligning your actions with goals that actually matter to you.
That's interesting. It's less about the destination and more about the journey then, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Speaking of journeys, you've talked before about wanting to make a difference in your community. Do you think that aligns with this idea of success?
Absolutely. The video actually uses examples of a school teacher and a gas station owner and how they find real fulfillment in what they do. So success isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. It's about finding your own version of it.
That makes sense. So let's get to the heart of this video. They call it The Strangest Secret.
Oh, yeah. It's a bold statement, that's for sure.
What is it?
Well, they basically say we become what we think about.
Wow, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, and this idea has been around for a long time. You can trace it back to people like Marcus Aurelius or Emerson. They all believed in the power of our thoughts.
That's pretty fascinating. This concept has stood the test of time, but it seems like a lot of people still haven't figured out how to use it. Why do you think that is?
Well, the video makes an interesting point. It says that we tend to undervalue the things that are free. And what's more valuable than our own minds? And those are free to use.
I guess you're right. We take a lot of things for granted.
Exactly. It's like you wouldn't plant weeds in your garden if you wanted roses. I don't
Okay,
know.
so you're saying we should be careful about what we're planting in our minds.
Yeah. Are you planting thoughts that will help you succeed?
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So if we accept this idea that our thoughts are so powerful, what do we actually do with that?
Well, the video challenges viewers to do this 30-day experiment, to really put this secret to the test. And the first step is to identify one specific goal. Write it down.
So we're talking about getting really clear on what we want, not just some vague idea of being successful,
Yeah.
but a real concrete goal.
Exactly.
And then what?
Well, then the video talks about visualization, like really picturing yourself achieving that goal and experiencing the emotions and the reality of it.
So it's almost like you're creating a mental blueprint.
Yeah, I think so.
But does just visualizing something actually make it happen?
Well, the video emphasizes that visualization is only part of it. There's also this concept of paying the price.
Okay, what do they mean by that?
It's about recognizing that achieving anything worthwhile takes effort. You can't just wish for things to happen. You have to actively control your thoughts and direct them towards your goals.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about taking action, too.
Exactly.
You have to put in the work.
Right. It's about understanding that our thoughts shape our reality and that we have to consciously choose the thoughts we plant. This focus on effort actually reminds me of another point they make about saving.
Oh, yeah. So it's not just about mindset, but also about practical steps like managing your finances.
Exactly. They talk about the importance of saving at least 10% of what you earn.
That's interesting. It's like they're saying you have to take control of your money and plan for the future.
Right. It's like planting seeds for future success, not just in your mind, but in your bank account, too. And speaking of effort, they also talk about how any job, no matter what it is, has enormous potential if you're willing to put in the work.
So you're saying it's not about waiting for the perfect job to come along, but about making the most of where you are right now.
Exactly. You have to create your own opportunities.
I like that. So how do we actually put all of this into practice?
Well, the video gives a really clear framework for that 30-day challenge. So the video gives a really clear framework for that 30-day challenge. It encourages viewers to start by identifying that single, clearly defined goal we talked about and writing it down on a card.
Okay, so we're writing down our goal.
Right. And then they say to carry that card with you and refer back to it several times a day.
Oh, I see. So you're constantly reminding yourself of what you're working towards.
Exactly. It's about really embedding that goal in your mind, you know? And then the video also emphasizes the importance of visualization, like really picturing yourself having already achieved this goal.
Okay, so not just thinking about it,
Right.
but actually feeling the emotions, experiencing the reality of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting how they connect visualization with taking action.
Right, because it's not enough to just daydream about success. The video really stresses the need to replace those negative thoughts with positive ones.
Okay, so that's where the real work comes in.
Yeah,
It's like you're training your mind to focus on what you want.
exactly. Instead of what you fear.
This reminds me of what you were saying about overcoming your fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
You said that instead of dwelling on your anxieties, you started focusing on the positive impact you wanted to make.
Yeah, that's right. I had to actively interrupt those negative thought patterns and consciously choose to shift my focus.
So you're basically choosing to plant different seeds in your mind.
Exactly. And the video acknowledges that there will be times when you feel like giving up, you know, when those negative thoughts try to creep back in.
Oh, for sure. We all have those moments.
And that's when persistence is crucial.
They talk about persistence a lot in the video.
They do, and they actually link it to faith.
Okay, how so?
Well, it's about believing in yourself and your ability to achieve your goal, even when those doubts arise.
So it's about having faith in the process
Exactly.
and trusting that you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, and the video encourages us to repeat this 30-day test until positive thinking becomes a habit, like a natural way of approaching life.
So it's about rewiring your brain,
Yeah.
training it to automatically focus on the positive
Right.
and see opportunities instead of obstacles. That makes sense.
It's about creating lasting change, not just a temporary boost in motivation.
It's a complete transformation.
Absolutely. The video actually quotes Dorothea Brande, who said, "Act as though it were impossible to fail."
Wow, I like that.
It's about embracing that mindset, believing in your success so fully that failure becomes inconceivable.
So it's about stepping into that version of yourself who has already achieved the goal.
Right. You become that person.
That's a powerful concept. But what about those times when we feel overwhelmed or uncertain about how we're going to achieve our goals?
Well, the video addresses that too. It emphasizes the importance of faith and trust, trusting that the universe or a higher power will support you.
That's interesting.
It's about surrendering the how and focusing on the why. You know, that bigger vision that drives you forward.
Okay, so you're saying it's about letting go of the need to control every detail
Right.
and trusting that things will work out.
Exactly. The video also talks about the importance of service, suggesting that our financial returns will be in direct proportion to the service we provide.
Okay, so the more we give, the more we receive.
Yeah, something like that.
It's about shifting our focus from what we can get to what we can give.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying about service, but I wonder if it always directly translates to financial wealth. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a good question. And the video actually debunks the idea that success is about getting rich quickly. It says that true wealth comes from providing value, from making a positive impact on the world. They even use this analogy of a yardstick.
Okay, how does a yardstick relate to all of this?
Well, they suggest that we can measure our success by the quality and quantity of service we provide.
So it's not just about how much money you make,
Right.
but about the positive impact you have on the world.
Exactly.
This makes me think about those people we often admire, the ones who just seem to attract success effortlessly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not just luck. Maybe they've tapped into this principle of service.
It's possible. Maybe they understand that true fulfillment comes from giving, from contributing to something larger than themselves.
It's like a ripple effect. The more we focus on giving, the more abundance we attract.
I think that's a great way to put it.
But what if we've been operating under a different mindset? You know, one focused on scarcity and competition. How do we shift to this abundance mindset?
Well, the video suggests that if we want to change our results, we have to change our thinking.
Okay.
We need to recognize those limiting beliefs that might be holding us back. Remember that goal you mentioned?
Yeah.
About starting your own business?
Yeah.
This principle applies perfectly.
I see what you mean. It can be easy to get stuck in a scarcity mindset, especially when you're venturing into something new and challenging.
Exactly. And the video offers some practical steps for shifting our mindset, like tracing our attitudes back to their origins, you know, maybe in childhood. When did we first develop the idea that we couldn't be successful?
It's an interesting question.
It's about challenging those old beliefs and rewriting the narrative we tell ourselves about who we are and what we're capable of achieving.
So it's about digging deeper into our own personal stories and understanding where those limiting beliefs came from
Right?
and then consciously choosing to replace them with more empowering thoughts.
Exactly. The video also emphasizes the importance of acting the part.
Acting the part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like acting the part of the successful person you want to become.
Okay, so it's not just about thinking differently, but about behaving differently too.
Right. It's about aligning your actions with your desired outcomes.
It sounds like this 30-day challenge is about so much more than just achieving a goal.
It really is. It's a complete transformation of our mindset, a shift from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith, from limitation to unlimited potential.
It's about stepping into a new way of being.
You got it. And it all comes back to that simple yet profound statement. We become what we think about.
Yeah, it really sounds like it. Like stepping into a whole new way of being.
Exactly. And it all comes back to that statement we talked about. We become what we think about. If we want to change our lives, we have to start with our thoughts.
This deep dive is really giving me a lot to think about. It's not just about achieving goals. It's about cultivating a whole mindset for success.
Yeah, it's a powerful reminder that we have so much control over our own destinies. We create our own reality.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into The Strangest Secret, I want to leave you with this question. What are you going to plant in the fertile ground of your mind today?
Are you going to plant seeds of fear and doubt? Or will you choose thoughts of courage, abundance, and success?
It's up to you. And remember, even the longest journey starts with a single step. So why not start your own 30-day test today and see what happens?
You might be surprised at what you're capable of.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing.